So we have some applications of the principle of flotation. The first is the flotation of icebergs. You have seen the, maybe directly you have not seen, but when you see the Geographical Channel or in TV, you see the icebergs. And if you have seen the movie Titanic, and I hope you all must have seen it, icebergs are the portion of ice which are very much in between the oceans, and आइसबर्ग का जो ऊपर का हिस्सा दिखता है दैट इज वेरी वेरी लेस एज कंपेयर्ड टू द पोर्शन विच इज इनसाइड द वाटर. व्हाट यू सी above the water level is very small portion of the entire iceberg. So here we are going to find out the ratio of the volume of the iceberg above the water and below the water. So flotation of iceberg, the density of ice is this and the density of water is this. Ice is 0.917 gram per centimeter cube. Density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. And by the formula which we took out in the last unit, we had volume of the immersed part of the body upon the total volume of the body. You can refer the previous video, is equal to the density of the body, that is the solid, and the density of the liquid. Here the solid is ice and the liquid is water. So what you see is the volume of the immersed part of the body upon the total volume of the body will be given by this, or small v is equal to this much of capital V, or 91.7%, or in general अगर हम whole part कहें तो हम 90% ले सकते हैं, 90% of the original volume. So what we see is that the volume of the immersed part of water, the volume of the immersed part of the iceberg is 90% of the entire iceberg. Means सिर्फ 10% of the volume ऊपर दिख रहा होता है above the water, rest the entire portion is below the water. That is 90% of the iceberg is below the water, and this is the application. This is how the flotation of iceberg is seen and the volume is calculated. Now the second is flotation of submarine. Submarine is a streamlined shaped watertight boat provided with several ballast of flotation, takes it in front and rear part. Means these are the ballast tank. Now I'll tell you what are the function of ballast tank. And submarine, as you know, submarine is a streamlined or a fish shaped boat, you can say, which moves underwater. Above water भी move कर सकती है, but underwater it is brought up and it is taken down, and generally it is used in war and all. कई movies आई हैं, you know what is a submarine, right? So these are the ballast tanks, and we'll see what is the role of ballast tanks here. So a submarine can be made to dive deep in water or to rise to the upper surface of water in accordance to whatever the need is. If it is to be dived, the ballast tanks are filled with water so that the density of the boat or the submarine becomes greater than the density of seawater, and it dives to deep water. When it is to be raised up, the ballast tanks are forced by compressed air so that the water comes out and the density of submarine becomes lesser than the seawater, and hence it rises up. Means जब आपको सबमरीन नीचे लेके जानी होती है, then the water is filled in the ballast tank. What happens when the water is filled? The submarine is going down. It becomes heavier and it goes down. And when the submarine has to be taken out by the compression of air, that water is removed from those ballast tanks, and and the air is filled in here, and so it becomes lighter than the seawater, and hence it comes up. So the depth of the submarine is controlled with the help of the ballast tanks by letting the water in and compressing and throwing it outside, and so the height of the submarine is adjusted in the seawater. So this is again the principle of flotation. The principle of flotation is applied here also. जो हम बात करें principle of flotation, मैंने आपको बताया था that if, just a small recap of it, if the weight of the body is more than the you can say the weight of the water in which it is to be displaced, it's going to go down, and rest all the principles are there. It will be good if you go through before you are going through these things. So these are the basic 2 applications here, and the rest of the application given in your book. The same concept has been applied in everyone, but iceberg and the submarine I've explained you. The same concept is there. You need to go through the entire applications. Any application in form of reasoning can be asked. Thank you.